Hello and welcome. I'm Chloë Thomas, the creator of the eCommerce MasterPlan, and today I'm going to be running through with you my guide to the boutique bricks and clicks e-commerce business structure. I first created the e-commerce business structure, the concept of the e-commerce business structure, when I wrote my first book, eCommerce MasterPlan, Your 3 Steps to Successful Online Selling, where it forms the first chapter, because it really is one of those first things you need to know or define before you start or building your e-commerce business, or before really taking that next leap in your e-commerce business's growth. It's based, it came out of my many years of experience working with tens of different e-commerce businesses around the UK. Everything from high street retailers through to wholesalers looking to start going direct to customers, online only, the full mix, all kinds of different types of businesses, and learning from the things which worked with them, the things which didn't, is what led to the creation really of the whole e-commerce master plan, and more specifically in terms of what we're talking about today, the e-commerce business structures. The e-commerce business structures are defined based on the client or the customer's method of buying from you. So in e-commerce, there are 4 ways in which the customer can buy from you. So they can come through your own website and place the order there. They can visit your catalogue, or receive your catalogue rather, and look through it, see the products, see the prices, make their buying decisions, and then either phone or go online to order. They can come to your physical store, or maybe you've got a stall somewhere, or they can use someone else's website. And that's what I call piggybacking, because you're piggybacking on someone else's traffic and someone else's technology. And that's the likes of eBay, Etsy, Amazon, and all those kind of websites. Today we're going to be talking specifically about the boutique bricks and clicks e-commerce business structure. So let me explain exactly what they are. Boutiques bricks and clicks is a business that has a transactional website. So it's got its online store. It's got maybe 1, 2, possibly 3 shops. So it doesn't yet need to have an additional warehouse. So all the stock is stored in those 2 shops. You don't have stock being delivered to a warehouse that then delivers it to the individual stores. That's really the big difference between boutique bricks and clicks and big bricks and clicks, which is another one of our 7 e-commerce business structures. They don't run a catalogue, because if they ran a catalogue, they'd be a full multi-channel business. So it's just website and those physical stores or stalls that's driving the traffic, driving the sales. You may well be doing wholesale. If you have some of your own products, then you may well be wholesaling those to sell them via other outlets. And you may also be selling on the piggyback website. So you might be selling through Amazon or eBay or Etsy, or any of those sites where you can list your products and sell them to the consumer as well. So that's what the boutique bricks and clicks business is. So it's website, shops, and no centralised warehouse. Here's some examples of boutique bricks and clicks. They tend to be localised stores. Because they only have that small footprint, it tends to be a specialist somewhere in the country. So what we've got in here is we have Browns in London, which is kind of a bit of a different scenario. They're a fashion business that's known globally. You have a couple of stores, I think it's South Molton Street in London, and an online presence, but that's all they do. They're very, very centralised. The other 4 are more regional players. So 6 Whiting Street is a fantastic menswear store in Bury St Edmunds. If you're ever there, go and have a look, because the way they've got it laid out is absolutely stunning, and they have a great selection of products. But they have a very good following in Bury St Edmunds, and online they're in a very competitive industry, so the men's branded fashion area. We've got Churro Fabrics, who are haberdashers of fabric and stitching, sewing, needlecraft supplies. So they have their online store and they have a very big footprint in Cornwall. Travails is one of your traditional small town fashion department stores. So they exist in their one physical store, and they also have their online presence. And then we have Erin Cox Jewellery, which is beautiful jewellery designs. They have a store and workshop in Exeter, and then sell online, and they also use a lot of the piggyback websites. So they're on Etsy and Botica and various places where they sell, as well as selling via their own website. So it tends to be a very regional play initially, and then online. The reason for going online for boutiques, bricks and clicks is usually to try and expand the the customer base and or to enable customers to buy without actually having to physically come to you. So let's get to the real fundamentals here. Why is it important to understand your e-commerce business structure? Well, this is because it fundamentally affects every single part of your business. It affects how you structure it, what team you need, what skill sets you need, what you'd be crazy not to outsource, and what you really should be outsourcing to enable you to really focus on that fastest path to growth. Where you choose to focus your effort, what marketing strategy you're following, because there's real methods which you'd be crazy not to be using, dependent upon what your e-commerce business structure is. And I'll run through what those are for the big boutique bricks and clicks in a second. And there's a different challenge which you really need to be making sure you're dealing with to be successful with each of these e-commerce business structures. So if you're boutiques bricks and clicks, then in terms of your team makeup, you have to have great people face to face with your customers in your store, because that is your bread and butter, your physical store, that is. So you need to have great shop people. You also need to have fantastic online selling skills if that website's going to be worth running for you. So you've got to make sure you've got the ability in-house to drive the online marketing. You may well be outsourcing the AdWords activity, the email activity, the social media, but you've got to be making sure that you've got the skills in-house to be driving that, and someone who's got the time to do it and to keep that website up to date. What you then outsource, and I've hinted on this a little bit, you outsource your IT. You don't need an IT manager in your business. You need to outsource that. You also need to quite possibly outsource your call center, depending on how big your sales are getting, because you don't want to be having to be answering the phone all the time, so that's a good thing to be outsourcing. You may well outsource the specialism of some of the online marketing tactics, because and certainly until your website gets big enough to justify having those skills in-house. And you should also be outsourcing your website construction, so the techie side of your website. You should be getting someone else to do that for you. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you can design and code it yourself. It's in the long term, it is a bad idea, because it saps time you could be spending on really focusing on the right areas. And those areas are where you should be focusing your effort is on making sure your product's right. Because often for boutiques, bricks and clicks businesses, the reason people come there is because of your product edit. The products you choose to put in your store are the type that they resonate with, the things they like. It's their style, it's their passion, it's their hobby. Often boutiques, bricks and clicks are hobby sites. It might be fishing tackle business, for example. So you need to focus on making sure the product is right, and very closely linked to that is your brand. So you need to make sure everything you do stays on brand, because you want people to understand that they're going to get the same service online that they get in your store, or as close as it's possible to create. And you really need to focus your effort on getting traffic to you, both to your physical store and to your online store. So you're creating that tribe of passionate people about your business. So you need to understand how that's going to be working for you, and making sure that that is working for you and the right tactics are being deployed, even if you're outsourcing the actual deployment of that. So we've kind of starting to stumble into the marketing strategy. So essential methods you need to be working on. You must be doing some form of local advertising in your key area, because that's going to be core. You can't neglect that when you move online. That might also include advertising in, if it's the hobby side of things you're on, in key publications for that hobby. You need to get to grips with Google AdWords, because it's going to be the way in which you start expanding that user base outside your immediate vicinity, geographical vicinity. Google search is going to be important for you as well, so you need to understand that and how you really build that content and that brand online. Remarketing and email are important to keep people coming back to you, to make sure it's you they choose to buy from in the future. And email is also very important for footfall in the physical store, as well as it is for the online options. So that's your essential marketing methods. The key number one challenge, the bit which undermines everything else if you get it wrong, is keeping the physical shop and the online shop up to date and consistent with each other. Because what you don't want to be doing is selling something online while someone in your store has already got it in their hands to buy it. That causes issues, and you want to make sure when that new range comes out, you've got it online and you've got it in store, that new season, because you're going to be advertising it and customers are going to start to expect to see the same thing in both places. So that's usually the key challenge people have in this place, because it's the one which you've got to keep on top of, otherwise it really does undermine everything else you're doing. So that's my quick little guide to the e-commerce business structure that is boutique bricks and clicks. If you'd like to find out more about how to build your e-commerce business, you can at ecommercemasterplan.com. Thanks for listening. Bye.